So it's something that you don't get to do very often, and it's kind of a little challenge that it doesn't cost you anything. It's just a couple of minutes, 5 minutes. I do that quite often. I do that, and I've also got some silent mindfulness, which is kind of a bit weird, but it's I basically set it up, and you've got 3, 5, and 10-minute sessions where it's just silent. There's no background. You can't get away from anything. There's no one talking. It's you and yourself. And I do a lot of that myself because I don't necessarily always need someone talking to me, and I don't like the alarm. So I've created this piano actually with a nephew. I created this little ding, ding, ding thing that comes in at the end that's gentle. So it's not a gong. It's not – I just wanted to get away from the sitting there for hours if that's not where you want to be, trying to do something else. And so it's a gentle way to come back into yourself after the 3, 5, or 10 minutes.
I like that.
Yeah.
Now, you and I have not dished about this before, so I'm just going to kind of go out on a limb. I believe you probably have the same belief that I do, but I don't know. I am passionate about relaxation, and I feel like it has been mischaracterized for a lot of people. And what I mean by that is when people say, I'm going to go home and relax, a lot of times it means I'm going to go home and binge watch Netflix with a pint of ice cream, which is not relaxation. I'm jumping up and down right now. It is not relaxing to watch TV. That's distracting your mind by doing something else. Relaxation truly is breathing or silence or mindfulness in some way. And I feel like Americans, I know for sure, but I think a lot of the other world, more of the other world is, I'm saying like 3 things at the same time. Most of the world is easily distracted. I feel like Americans are probably some of the worst at being distracted, and that we call our distraction mindfulness and relaxing, and oftentimes it's not.
I would definitely agree with that. I think we actively seek to turn off our brain, which is why we go and binge watch, and you're tired. So you sit on a chair, you eat your ice cream, and you watch something so you don't have to, you can shut down your thoughts. But a lot of people watch TV and then sit on their laptop or their phone. So they're not actually looking at the TV, and they're not actually concentrating on their phone. So it's kind of, it confuses the brain somehow. And that's always an interesting thing. I agree with you. Relaxation can be a walk. It can be lovely to go for a walk and listen for birds and listen for nature. And it can also be just a little quiet time with yourself, or a bath or something. Reading a book is still better than watching the TV, I think. And drawing, those colouring in books for adults is actually so relaxing. Doing a jigsaw, but being involved in that flow of doing something, actively participating in something instead of turning off and allowing input coming towards you, I think is so much better for us. So I don't know about you, but I love a good jigsaw. I don't do them nearly often enough, but I love a good jigsaw because I get really into it, and I can't be thinking as much about what I have to do Wednesday and who I've got to meet and, who's annoying me or whatever. I sit and I concentrate on jigsaw or the colouring in or doing something with my hands. For me, relaxation is very much, I'm an acupuncturist, I'm a body worker. Relaxation comes through my hands, and everybody's got something different. But if you're going to do something, you should feel better as a result. When you watch TV and you're just sitting there, and I get it, I have done it myself, you sit there and you just need to turn off. It's fine as long as you feel better as a result of having done that. So relaxation should be relaxing. You should feel better.
Yes, I like that you said that. Such a simple statement, but so true. And yeah, you're right. Every Christmas we spread out, we clear the dishes, and we put out this enormous jigsaw. And everybody comes and we play and we talk and we interact, and we're distracted by other things, and we're all focused. And feels so good.
And connection. I do like that idea of connection. Some people don't have the people to connect with, and so they might like to do something by themselves, but even stroking a cat or a dog is still relaxing. But social connection for us as women is very important. So actually finding that connection, but don't always use alcohol, because alcohol is a depressant. Do a jigsaw with a friend and talk, and maybe have a glass of wine if that's what you want to do, but also don't, just have some fun, laugh with somebody. I think we need to change the way that we are sort of doing some things in the society at the moment. So going to dinner and looking at your phone when you're sitting across from somebody, it's just not going to create that social connection for you. That is so good to lower loneliness, to help you get over any of the feelings that you have. You get to talk about stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And this circles full circle to some of the things you said at the beginning, with being okay with sometimes the awkward silence, the uncomfortable. Our phones are such a distraction. Even if it's not the notification going bing, 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 when we have a pause in the conversation, what do? When we grab our phone and we start zooming in on it because it's awkward. So we use that phone.
Yeah. And it's tough, and it's a tough one to break, because big companies pay a lot of money to try and figure out ways to get your attention. And you can give your attention to them, but equally you can give your attention to people around you and pay something forward. Go and talk to somebody that might also be lonely. Just trying to actually have physical connections with people doesn't need to be sexual. Just talking and getting to know your neighbor. There's lots of different ways that you can relax. And that's certainly one of them.
Oh, it is. And again, not to be weird and not to be going and hugging strangers, because we're all in charge of our own body. But hug is if you need some oxytocin, you need some good hugs. And I'm a hugger. And obviously I'm not going to go assault anybody that doesn't want to be assaulted. But I do have my circle of friends. We hug each other, and it feels so good.
Oh, that's lovely. I'm in Britain, and that's not done very often. When they're not really huggers, I wouldn't say is a natural go-to. But actually, you're right. I think a hug is lovely, and that connection, that heart-to-heart connection, is quite a nice thing. And some people don't have people to hug, and that's okay too. Go and accost a dog or a cat, and because actually the stroking, it's one of the tricks that you use in labor is stroking. Stroking increases oxytocin. So the stroking of a cat or the stroking of a dog increases oxytocin. So actually it's very good for you. Stroke a chair if you don't have an animal.
That's so true. Get a stuffed animal.
Yeah, get a stuffed animal. I mean, we're all weird, aren't we? So why not? People are allowed to do whatever makes them feel good. But yeah, I think that having just some nice things that feel nice. Stroke your leg. It's quite nice to stroke your leg. You were saying before about your arm. Just touch stuff. Feel the sensations. We've got so many nerve endings in our hands that it's lovely to just stop for a second and connect.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. I have a whole practice in my book that's coming up on feeling everything and tasting things. We eat food at least 3 times a day, but how often do we taste it?
Yes, and a lot of the times we're eating so fast to get on with the next thing that we don't do the mindful eating. I have a session in the libido series. I think it's the second session that is about the sensory awareness, and you do eat something, but you have to feel it with your fingers, and you hear the feeling of it and like the movement of it, and you do it with your eyes closed, because you pick up different things in your senses when your eyes are closed. So you smell, you do things, and then you look at it and see if it's what you think it is. Because sometimes I actually did it with a blueberry, and I have the idea of what a blueberry smells like, and actually it doesn't really smell. It's not until you chew it that you get the smell sensation, or at least the blueberry I tried was phenomenal. Yeah, really interesting. So it's kind of like sometimes we just get some of this stuff or we don't even know it to start with, but we've lost our curiosity and we need to find that because curiosity is so good for us.
Yes, it is. Oh, and now I'm thinking about, I do a hypnosis, like stage trick, so to speak, where you have an onion and you describe an apple and you describe the smell of an apple, and then somebody sits there and eats the raw onion and they think it's an apple. So
Yes, that's a very powerful, suggestion is a very powerful thing. And you can actually make yourself feel better by that fake it till you make it. Like you talk yourself into being happy and well, and you repeat it and you can make yourself believe it. That's part of the trick, if you like, of gratefulness. You might be feeling terrible and had a terrible day, but if you can search for something to feel grateful for, even if it was somebody opening a door or it was a conversation that you had, that tricks your mind into positive thinking. So instead of ruminating and persistent negative sort of spiral, you actually go towards something good. And it is a trick, but it's a trick that is researched by science to actually work and
Absolutely.
be very beneficial, very good for anxiety and depression, but you have to do it daily. You have to be specific. So you can't just say, I'm grateful for my mum. You have to be like, I'm grateful that my mum called me today and told me that, you know, something was going on or she loves me. You've got to be specific, and it has to happen that day, or if you want to do it at the end of the month, look at the previous month and see what's gone on. But you have to be specific and you have to be constant.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
The better you do it, the more practice you get, the better you get at it.
Yes. Yes. I love that. So where can listeners download this app? How can they find out more about you, your blog, the app, all of that good stuff?
So you can find us. We're on the Apple and the Google Play Store. We're on both of those. You look up Clarity Mindfulness, and you'll be able to find us. You can go to clarity.app. So it's a website, clarity.app, and you can find out more information about Clarity. You can find out a bit about me. I'm very lazy with releasing the blogs, and I need to do better, but I do have a bit of a blog. And all of our socials are hey_clarity. So Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, you can join the community, and you can email me through the contact page on Clarity if you wanted to ask any questions. We talked through Instagram, so you can send me a message through Instagram, and I reply. I don't have it on notifications, so it's not an instant reply, but I look at it daily, and I will always reply to you and have a conversation with you and help where I can.
Wonderful. And this is my little personal challenge to listeners out there. If you were listening to this show and thinking, yeah, but I have this really weird concern, reach out to her, because if you have this really weird concern, I guarantee there's like a million more women out there, or men, with the exact same concern. And then she might be like, ooh, I am creating a program on my app for you. And then you'll get a test market, and then you're going to help the whole rest of the world.
And we love super users. So we have people that are using the app on a daily basis, and they talk to us and they give us feedback and help us create a better app. And I'm absolutely up for anybody. If you want to be a super user and you want to try and get into it daily, then contact me. I'll help you to try and get yourself into a daily routine, and we'll support you through it. And hopefully make you feel better.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, thank you so much for your time. Listeners, I'm going to put her information up on my show page, but if you're driving or putting on lotion and you can't write it down, you can always find me to Laura, Lora, at lauracheadle.com. Of course, you can also text me. I love it when people text me, 303-994-4945, and I will put the information on Clarity and Becks up on my website. So have a fantastic day, and as usual, don't forget to flaunt.
Tune Tune in next time to Flaunt. Build your dreams, live your sparkle with radio host Laura Cheadle every Wednesday at 7 a.m. and 7 p.m. Eastern Time on syndicated Dream Vision 7 radio network. Come release self-judgment, reveal your naked self-worth, and re-choreograph a life filled with joy. Flaunt. Find your fetish, laugh out loud, accept unconditionally, navigate the negative, and trust in your truth. Find out more at Laura Cheadle.